Do you ever ask yourself, how can I just be happy? Have you found yourself constantly chasing happiness, trying to figure out the formula, the secret, the key? Maybe you've told yourself, I'll be happy when I get the job. I'll be happy when I get in that relationship. I'll be happy when I reach that goal. And chase that thing only to chase the next thing. If you've been struggling to feel truly happy, stick around. I'll share what chasing happiness can actually teach us and the solution that you might be looking for. I spent years chasing happiness, lifelong depression, and mental health challenges. I dealt with multiple burnouts that came with extreme highs and lows. There was a lot of chaos and drama in my life, a constant sense of instability, no real inner peace. Even when things looked great on the outside, inside I was secretly suffering. No matter what I accomplished, I never felt that sense of fulfillment. There would be a short high, a moment of excitement, but it never lasted. It felt like a never-ending chase. I would say I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And one day, I finally meant it. I didn't want another temporary high. I wanted all the inner turbulence, the suffering, and the constant highs and lows to stop. I wanted stability. I wanted peace. I just wanted to be happy, like everybody else. The first solution that came to mind was if I could just be happier, I wouldn't feel so miserable. So I pursued it, diving into self-help books. But I wasn't only chasing happiness. I was also trying to escape the suffering. Eventually, the experience led me to realize, what if happiness isn't something you chase? What if I've been looking at this the wrong way? And that's when everything shifted. Happiness is something we put on a pedestal. Everywhere you look, self-help books, motivational quotes, social media, people are telling you the same thing. Be happy, choose happiness. I even grew up to the song, Don't Worry, Be Happy. So naturally, I thought happiness is something you aim for. When I used to say, I just want to be happy, I thought happiness meant being in a good mood most of the time. Feeling positive, life would just feel great more often than not. Good things would happen, success would come, problems would disappear, no pain, no struggle, no suffering. But I learned happiness, by definition, is actually a temporary emotion. It shows up when something good happens, when conditions are favorable, or when we accomplish something we wanted. Just like all emotions, anger, sadness, excitement, etc., happiness is a temporary emotional experience. It naturally comes, it naturally goes. As human beings, we experience contrast, highs and lows, expansion and contraction. Happiness is not a permanent state. It's not a destination. It's not a personality trait. Here's the hidden downside of chasing happiness. Somewhere along the way, we started believing happiness is the end goal, that we should feel happy most of the time. And if we're not, something must be wrong. But when happiness becomes the goal, we have a tendency to resist anything that isn't happiness and ignore what is happening in the moment. If we're sad, we try to push it aside and try to be happy. If we're upset, we resist it and seek happiness. Chasing happiness actually creates pressure, and every moment gets evaluated. Am I happy right now? Why don't I feel happier? What's missing? It creates comparison and dissatisfaction. We compare ourselves to other people, what happiness should look like. We look at their highlight reels and we ponder who we think we should be. When happiness fades, as it naturally does, we tend to think, I need to be happy. I need to fix or change myself. Something is missing. So we continue to chase happiness, but happiness isn't something that we can hold on to. One of the most important lessons I learned is this: chasing happiness doesn't actually lead to experiencing it, because happiness isn't something you achieve. So if happiness isn't something that we achieve, what do we do? First, stop chasing happiness. Happiness is unstable. What we're really looking for are things like joy, peace, harmony, and fulfillment. And those come from something deeper. So instead, focus on building a more stable inner foundation. I'll go over 5 foundations to help you experience deeper joy, peace, and fulfillment, emotions that naturally lead to happiness. Foundation number 1, inner peace. Letting go of the ego. Inner peace isn't experienced by forcing it. It's about loosening the grip of the ego, the mind-made identity that we cling on to. The ego always wants more. More validation, more success, more certainty. It wants to control everything. We start to experience peace when we stop needing life to look a certain way to feel good. Foundation number 2, presence. Surrendering to what is. Most suffering comes from not accepting reality. This shouldn't be happening. I don't want this to be happening. Presence is surrendering to what is. It's not giving up. It's not being passive, but accepting what is and fully being in the present moment. When we're present, we're not chasing some future feeling. We're experiencing this moment. It's simply acknowledging the moment for what it is instead of resisting it. Foundation number 3, alignment, quieting the mind. There's a space beyond constant thinking. I like to call it the no mind space, a space where we're not replaying the past or predicting the future. In that space, we connect to something deeper, our true, authentic self. When our actions align with who we truly are, we navigate life in a way that feels true to us. No ego, no stories, no identity, no mind chatter. And from that alignment comes something deeper than happiness. A sense of knowing, grounded confidence, calm harmony, and contentment. From that space, we naturally experience peace, joy, and fulfillment. Foundation number 4, self-acceptance, compassion for yourself. If we only accept ourselves when we are the version of ourselves that we think is happy or good, we'll always feel like something is missing, always chasing something, always feeling unfulfilled. Self-acceptance means allowing ourselves to be exactly as we are, messy, imperfect, making mistakes and learning along the way, simply being human. When we stop fighting ourselves, there's less resistance. We start accepting and we become more compassionate, not only toward ourselves, but toward everything else. And from that, we experience more love, harmony, and peace. Foundation number 5, gratitude, shifting your mindset and perspective. One of the biggest mistakes we make when chasing happiness is constantly focusing on what's missing, what we don't have, what didn't work out, what could be better. The more we focus on what's lacking, it strengthens those thoughts. And over time, the mind defaults to the negative and life starts to feel more and more lacking. Gratitude shifts that, not by pretending everything's perfect, but by choosing to see things differently. Instead of defaulting to a negative perspective, we start to appreciate what is. The small moments, the things we often overlook because we're so focused on what we think we lack. When we practice gratitude, we're changing how we see our current situation. And in that shift, we begin to feel a little more content, a little more grounded, a little more at peace. Because when we bring attention to appreciating what we already have, everything starts to feel a little more peaceful. And from that place, we're able to experience more joy and harmony. If you like a simple way to start building this habit, I created a free 30-day gratitude workbook to help you build this habit. Even just a few minutes a day can help you shift how you feel and see your life. The link to the workbook is in the description. Here's the thing. Happiness is a side effect. When we work on our inner foundation, peace, presence, alignment, self-compassion, and gratitude, happiness naturally starts to show up in our lives. And when it goes away, we're okay because we're not chasing it. We're not depending on it. So instead of asking, how can I be happy? Maybe the better question is, how can I be more at peace, more present, more aligned, more compassionate, or more grateful today? And that shift can change everything. Reflection of the day. Now that you know the 5 foundations that help you experience deeper joy, peace, gratitude, and fulfillment, emotions that lead naturally to happiness, which of these 5 foundations feel most relevant to you right now? And which one can you start focusing on today? Share it in the comments below. Thank you for being on your inner work journey. Hope you have a beautiful and wonderful day. Sending you love and light. See you in the next video. Bye.